Hey there, Frog family. Today is almost 2 weeks into our quarantine. Monday will be officially a full week, I believe, that my job has been closed. But I wanted to take you guys on a little tour of my garden, my patio garden. I'm very fortunate at a time like this to have a place to grow my vegetables and grow plants and kind of be out here in the sun. And this is my little area. I like to come out here and spend a few moments out here every day just getting some sun and enjoying the fresh air and talking to my plants and visiting and watering my garden. It's definitely helping pass some of the time. So I wanted to show you this corner here of my garden because I don't show it too often. I'm mostly showing you the front where we have the beautiful view. This is an art piece that my mother-in-law made for me, but it's part of a palm tree that fell, and she was able to paint it and make it beautiful. And she has some at her house that she turns at a different angle, like a dish or a bowl, and then she puts soil and grows some succulent plants out of them and hangs them, and they're really beautiful. This is my meat eater plant. He helps control some of the population of pests in my garden. And when I mean some, I literally mean some. We're humid here in Southern California, so we get a lot of humidity, and that brings in the bugs. That's something that we're not used to because we come from Las Vegas, where it's nice and hot and there's not that many bugs, at least. I probably am going to trim this one today. I just noticed that all the beautiful flowers on her died off. Oh, okay. So moving on, this is my it's 3 circles, metal circles, and as it goes taller, the circles are getting smaller, so it's like a little cone kind of pyramid here. And this was a garbage find, but it wasn't in the dumpster, it was next to the dumpster, and I have one exactly matching this as well too, that when we do eventually move out of here, we're going to put in our backyard, our official backyard. This is an art piece that I made. This is mannequin legs. I call him Adam because he protects the garden here. He is a mannequin that my mom and I bought at a yard sale when she came out to visit me, and I opened up the top of him and shoved a light bulb down inside of him so that he glows, and then I added some of that foam sponge stuff here, and then I was able to make this pretty little decorative top piece. This is one of the fake plants in my garden, so don't be deceived by its beautiful flowers, but I do have some flowers growing here that I'm going to show you shortly. Moving on to my bell pepper plants. This one I trimmed up quite a bit. It's looking a little skinny right now, but I did notice that she is starting to show signs of wanting to bloom, and so we do have some buds growing there. And then if you look over at my other bell pepper plant, which I want to say this is the spicy bell pepper. Spicy, but not too spicy. So this is one of the little bell peppers that are growing here. We're keeping an eye, making sure that the bugs aren't getting any of the bell peppers and that they're staying nice and hydrated. We have had quite a few rainy days, but I came out here and I checked the soil and it was still at least dry on top. The sun is warming everything up. My strawberries are doing really well. This one's actually starting to turn red. And what I have in my hand is, I tried to make a video earlier and it went over the time that I'm allowed, so I had to stop and redo a video, but I picked this beautiful blueberry off of my blueberry plant here earlier, and this one is about ready to give us about a handful or so of blueberries. We really wish that we had the space to grow. I'm getting bad lighting. We really wish we had the space to grow more, but we're definitely working with the space that we have and the sunlight that we're getting, because if you look up here, it's a completely closed in balcony. So I'm growing some carrots here. We did do an attempt last year to grow carrots. They were doing okay. Again, it's a sunlight factor. The leaves weren't getting enough sun. The carrots were taking long to grow. So we ended up taking them to my in-laws, and then they did well over there. But carrots is a vegetable that I love eating. We love putting it in soups and stews, and eating the baby carrots just by themselves with maybe, some dip, and not even all the time some dip, but, they're good. They're sweet all on their own. Here's another strawberry container. I love my strawberries. They're a superfood too, so they're giving you pretty much all the vitamins and nutrition that most of us need to, I mean, we could probably live off of strawberries and strawberries alone if we had to. Tomato plant. My lighting, I'm so sorry. Let's see if maybe if I cover here, if we'll get some better light. There we go. Okay, so this is a new tomato plant that we're growing. We hope it gets nice and big and produce lots of tomatoes for my husband and kids. I can't have tomatoes myself. We're growing garden beans here, here, and here, and that's why they have the stick coming up, because hopefully they'll wrap around that stick. In this planter here, it's a lot of pish-posh going on here, but we have some onions and some parsley growing in the smaller containers that I just recently planted. Then hopefully we have some peas growing up here. So everything is kind of up, just trying to get the most amount of the sunlight that we do get over here. Strawberries, I think I've told you a little bit about the strawberry venture over here. We planted them last year, didn't do so well. This was the main container. Nothing's even growing out of here anymore because we cut it off from the other two areas, and it was almost like the soil in those containers were what was giving this one life. And as soon as we cut off life, those ones here and here continued to grow, and this one completely died off. I have it at a little bit of an angle because I think it got too wet and the soil got too moist, and maybe some root rot or something happened there. This is our asparagus that we've been growing since last year, and it takes 2 years to grow asparagus and to be able to eat it. This is just more of an experiment, just getting some experience under our belt, some gardening experience before we move on to a bigger backyard. We have some nasturtiums, I can never say that, but they're blooming and they're doing well. This is actually a plant that you can eat. And then we have a nice pretty plant in the back, pretty flower back there. It's kind of hard to see, but this was one of our tomato planters that we used last year. Sorry, again, the lighting, this is horrible. Last year, grew a tomato in it, and I'm just bringing everything up to the light, and that's why it's full of lots of other little planters, but it definitely worked out. Then over here, I have my 2 succulent gardens, and then another tomato plant. I'm burning incense here because somebody told me that if you burn incense in your garden, it'll help control the flies. I don't know if that's true or not, but hey, I'll roll with it. This was this right here was a cut or a piece of plant that we found on the ground, actually just outside of the safari park, and we're hoping that it turns into a dragon fruit. If anybody recognizes this plant, please comment below. It was at first just this thicker stick, and then everything has been kind of growing, and we have that here to stay safe. I hope that one does really well. I'm excited to see what that turns into. Moving on to my dog run, this has been a lifesaver as well too, with the lockdown that we have going on right now. You know, we want to try to leave the apartment as least amount as possible, but still keep everybody healthy with activities, especially your dog. So we're trying to do like a little walk with the dog, and then for the most part he's using the restroom and hanging out here when he needs some fresh air himself. The blue container in the back is where he does his number 1s and 2s, and let me see if I can kind of get down at a little bit of a different angle. No, it's not going to work, but there's a hole that he can access the dirt in the pad back there, and then we control odor by just adding more soil on top of it if we can't change it right away. This is my little workstation over here. I'm trying my attempt at growing some microgreens, and I will let you guys know how that goes and keep you posted. And then I have my little fairy garden back here. But I just wanted to do a quick tour of my garden, and the video is getting a little bit long again, of course, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up here, folks. But stay tuned, more garden updates. Bye for now.